What's going on, everybody? This is going to be a review of the current Aquachef automatic fish feeder I just got recently. Went on vacation, went up to Minnesota and did some reel fishing for a week, and got this off of eBay and used it, and just wanted to make a quick video on it to tell you how it works, because I didn't find a very good video review on it. So here we go. So to start off with, you have your little LED display. You got 4 buttons: set, adjust, mode, and the feed button. So works pretty easy. Set the regular time. You just hit set and it blinks the hour. Adjust the hour. You can hit mode to change it to the minutes, adjust the minutes, hit set, and you're ready to go. And it does run on a 24-hour clock, so if you don't know the 24-hour clock, you might have to do some addition and subtraction to get it to work right. So to feed, you're going to want to hit mode, and it's going to go through 4 different feeding times that you can program. I have mine set for feeding mode 2 at 6:30. So to set that, you just do it the same way. Set hours, adjust, hit mode, adjust the minutes, and then up at the top you can see the number 2, and it's got 2 arrows there. Those are the feedings that you can do at that time. You can do 0, which is no arrows, 1 arrow, which is 1 feeding right at 6:30, and 2 arrows, which is 2 feedings. One would be at 6:30 and one would be at 6:31, so they are a minute apart. And you set that, and you can do that up to 4 times in a day, and then you can go right back to your regular 24-hour clock. So next thing, the hopper here comes right off with a little bit of force, I guess. Put your food in right here. Got a pretty decent size feeder there. And you set this down to put the hopper back in here, just like that. And on the side of the hopper, you see you got your flap here that lets the food out, and there's a little adjustment piece right there that you can see going up and down. So on the outside here, you have your feeding adjustment. If I can hold it right. So you can set this to vary depending on how big your food is and how much you want to feed. I found that you have to be very careful and take a lot of time to adjust this to the exact right point, because if I had it one notch closer, it would barely feed anything at all, and if I had it 1 notch further than the one that I was on, then it would feed half of the hopper at once. So you have to really sit down and take some time to adjust this this little lever so you can get the right amount of fish food. And do remember that you can feed twice on here. So if you're getting a little bit smaller amount of food than you would like, then go ahead and do the double feeding, which is what I ended up doing with it. Another thing to be careful of with this guy, especially when I first started it, it did not want to rotate. The hopper didn't want to rotate, and what happened is I had it slightly out of skewed, which allowed it not to rotate. What it's doing now, what it should have done in the first place, is if it's out of skew, it's just going to go ahead and rotate and come back to its starting point. So if you get one and it's not rotating, especially when you press the feed button. When you press the feed button, it should go automatically. Make sure you have it in the right. You have your hopper in the right place. And then moving on to the other side where the battery compartment is. Well, that came out quick. You got your 2 AA batteries, and then the gear set that moves the hopper. And one other thing I found is that when I got it, I couldn't figure out the hopper would turn about 3/4 of the way around, especially when there was food, when there was weight in it, and it would get stuck and it wouldn't turn all the way around. And what I found is this little gear, that top gear right in there, was not meshing with the other gear underneath it very well. So I pushed that gear back in there and it started working just fine. So grab this off the floor now and stick it back on here. And it did take a while the first time I put the batteries in to get the LCD display to come up. So if you get it and you're also worried about that, you might try it a couple times and let it sit for a while and see if it comes on, because it did take me about 15 or 20 minutes just to get the LCD screen to start working. So all in all, that should be about it for the unit itself. We'll go ahead and take it over to the tank here, and we'll see how the mounting bracket works that came with it. So you get this little mounting bracket here with it. There's a screw right down there, and on the inside there is a suction cup that you can kind of see right there. So you unscrew the screw, and you can actually, it took me a while to do this too because it's on there really hard, but you can unscrew the suction cup from the screw. So you unscrew your screw until it's flush with the inside of the bracket, stick it down into the water, and then line up your suction cup with the screw and screw everything back together. It's not incredibly, tight by any means, but it's not, nothing wrong with it. It works just fine. And then you just go ahead and slip your fish feeder right onto there. And if we come around to the side here, you can see it just, if I hit the feed button here, it just barely squeaks inside the back of the tank. So that actually worked out really good for us. So I guess in conclusion, if you're looking for a feeder to feed your fish while you're on vacation for a week, maybe once a year, twice a year, with a little bit of time and a little bit of work, I think this would work fine for you. Like I said, I had quite a few problems really when I got it, but after I figured out how it worked and got all the settings right, I tested it for about a week before I went on vacation, just to make sure everything worked out right. It ended up working out fine. So for I think it was $20 or $22 off eBay. Now that it's working, I'm pretty happy with it. So quick shot before we end. How the tank is looking. It's looking pretty good right now. Actually, the water's looking pretty clear, and all the fish are doing pretty well. There's big boy Frontosa back there. I did have a little bit of a problem. He's got some glare on it with my obliquate ends while we were gone. He's a redfin or thick-skin obliquate ends. He got kind of, he's definitely the smallest guy in the tank, and he got kind of a sunk belly. I don't think he ate much while we were gone, so I got him in there just so I can give him some food and get him back up to the par with everybody else. But other than that, I think the feeder worked really well while we were on vacation. So with that, I will go ahead and end this video. Please give me any comments or anything that you think. Hit like, hit subscribe, and that's it. Thanks.